Hi everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. I'd like to wish everybody out there a very happy Pi Day 2018. It's an irrational but well-rounded number. Bet some of you didn't even know that March the 14th was Pi Day. That's why I had this shirt made. Although this shirt can be worn year-round, it doesn't necessarily say Happy Pi Day or whatever. But anyhow, just a little something something for the nerdy folks out there, or us people that are just fans of math like me. Today I want to talk about raw food diet for disease versus prevention. I do videos every day, so if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you'd hit that subscribe button now, then click on the little bell and check send notifications, which you have to do to stay subscribed to your YouTube channels and get notifications when there's new videos. This one, I worked on the title for this one a good bit today, because a lot of times it's like the title. You know, you get more views or you get less views depending on what you say, and you try to come up with something interesting. And so I was trying to think of the exact title that kind of conveyed what I wanted to talk about today. You know, I get questions a lot of times, and I'll tell you what, I'm not one of those people. I've never, I've never been ashamed to say, I don't know, or oh my God, that's way over my head. I get a number of health questions that are just over my head and out of my level of expertise. Because you always have to remember, watching this channel, everybody seems to have a story of something they've healed from or some kind of health crisis or whatever. I'm healthy. You got to remember, as you're watching this, as you're watching what I eat, as you're watching my opinions, as you're watching me answer questions, everything about it, you have to understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a healthy place, a very healthy place. In fact, I think a lot of times that it's probably not fair how healthy I am. For the way that I treated my body for so many years. I mean, I was a 30-year drunk. I didn't eat well during a lot of those periods. So, you know, I could have come into this just broken down and having more health problems than the average Joe. Because I see a lot of people out there that I'm pretty sure didn't beat themselves up like I did, that have a lot more health concerns than I do. So that's one thing I always want to make sure that I clarify, is that I'm healthy. So when people ask me about specific illnesses, diseases, health issues, I'm not always comfortable with those type questions because I don't have experience there. And I'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I still stick by what I'm always saying. If you've got a health issue, you talk to somebody, reach out to somebody that has the same health issue and that has had results with this lifestyle on that health issue. Because you know, you don't eat like disease does. Basically, disease comes from one place, but there's different manifestations of of how it expresses itself. And for different illnesses, different sicknesses, what have you, there can be different protocols, and there can be some things that some people that are healthy can eat, and that's very healthy for them, and other people that have certain conditions, they can't eat that. I'll tell you something, you guys, and when I say healthy, I'm healthy in every way, shape, and form. I've got a great immune system. I can I can pretty much digest anything, and that's what seems to be, you know, some people have issues with. So many people can't digest a lot of the things. So sometimes it's frustrating when I'm trying to help somebody, and I'm just like, well, you know, I haven't had any reason to look into that area, so I'm not real familiar for this particular ailment or whatever. And when I'm talking about it, I'm talking about things like serious, you know, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, or things that just, you know, or really make your life miserable, like Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis, and the IBS. You know, the gut issues. Oh my God, when I see people with those, I'm just, I feel so bad for them. Or even just people that suffer migraine headaches. There's a number of things out there, but what I'm talking about is, you know, stuff that's like really serious. And as you guys know, and you probably think, oh, he's always sarcastic about that stuff. I can be quite sarcastic about cleanses. I can be quite sarcastic about fasting, juice feasting, water fasting, and all that kind of stuff. Because basically the kids, the people out there just don't understand the tools. Now, when I kind of make a snide comment about some of these things, doesn't mean I'm throwing them under the bus completely. It's just I don't see that for a healthy person. I've never been led in that direction, and people give me a myriad, oh, well, you need to clean this out before you do this so you can start absorbing and blah, 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 blah. Kind of sounds woo-woo-ish to me. But be that as it may, we can agree to disagree if you're one of the big preventative fasters and one that does all that kind of stuff. But if I had a serious health issue, you better believe I would go right to the top of that healing pyramid. What's the top of that healing pyramid? It works its way down. At the very top, when you have a serious health crisis, there's dry fasting. Right under that, there's water fasting. Then there's juice fasting. Then there's mono mealing. And even I make fun of, oh, these people that just live on grapes. Grapes are a very healing thing for certain, health issues, because they're very cleansing to the body. They're very detoxing to the body. So in those circumstances, yes. And I would be the most extreme of the most extreme, because it wouldn't be extreme. It would be doing something natural to save myself from having to have something extreme done, like having something cut open, having something cut off, what have you. So yeah, you better believe it. And that's what I can't even understand. I know a couple of people. I know one person in particular that has healed from cancer, and they also work with other people and they consult with other people. And I've talked to other people about this, when people have cancer, or when they've had a heart attack, or when they're really dealing with some serious issues on diabetes. Or for me, I'm a baby with pain, with anything with pain. If I had UC, if I had Crohn's, I would find out what the protocol was for that. Somebody that had treated themselves, naturally with that. And I would probably do whatever they said or whatever they were doing, if it made sense, if it wasn't just like some crackpot, that I thought might not even be real. I would do it to the T. If I had to eat grapes, if I had some sort of cancer and I had to eat grapes, nothing but grapes, nothing but grapes, nothing but grapes for 90 days, you bet your ass I would be doing that. Or water fasting to take care of an illness, or juice fasting. Maybe I would drink nothing but juice for 100 days. If I had those kind of health issues, you better believe it. So I believe there's a different way of approaching this lifestyle for everybody. And it's not one size fits all. And that, I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. It's like, this is still kind of specific. I think there's a general way of doing it for people that are healthy, other people like myself that are healthy. I mean, I know within myself. I don't need to go beating people over the head about it and saying this is the right way. But for somebody that's healthy, such as my way, you're just not going to convince me to eat differently and go against how I feel. I just feel absolutely marvelous. So while I'm, a healthy person and things are going in a good direction, I'm going to kind of keep going with what seems to be working for me. Anything else would be illogical. It would be ridiculous to be eating a certain way, feeling absolutely great every day, and then overthink and say, well, I think I'll change something up. But once again, if you've got some serious health issues out there, I know sometimes I kind of like, well, is he Mr. Science, or is he Mr. Woo-Woo? Is he somewhere in between? And yeah, probably somewhere in between. I believe hardcore in science. I believe there's things out there in the world we can't understand. But I do believe in the healing power of diet. It's a concept that seems radical. It would have seemed so radical to me 7 or 8 years ago, and if I'd heard a lot of these things, I'd have been thinking, oh yeah, one of those natural hippies, tree huggers, blah, blah, blah. But it's really just natural ancient wisdom of letting, it's healing. It's healing 101. It's basically what we're doing when we're healing the body, more than putting things in, or what do you do? Do you eat this specific thing, or does this food have this? Is this a superfood? We're basically getting out of our body's way to heal. That's what this whole lifestyle boils down to, is we're getting out of the way. We're removing those obstacles. It's more about what we're leaving out of our diet now than anything we're putting in. People are like all day, every day, trying to figure out that next superfood or that food that you've just got to have. Oh, and I'm thriving on this and I'm thriving on that. You're probably not thriving on any food. You're probably thriving on lack of certain foods, lack of certain things you maybe used to put into your body. So it's more the reduction than the addition. I guess if that makes any sense. But yeah, but just like I say, I just like to kind of clarify my thinking, kind of my thoughts on this lifestyle in general from time to time. And yes, it looks very much different for somebody like me than it would for somebody that has diabetes than it does for somebody that has Lyme disease. The Lyme, that's another one. The Lyme and the autoimmunes, those can get kind of tricky, and those are not even just a case of going to the top of the healing pyramid. There's different cycles and stuff. So once again, I'm going to finish with that general piece of advice that I always give. If you've got some health issue, especially the more serious it is, don't just reach out to any Joe Smo, anybody just in general. Ask somebody, do searches, ask around in your groups, find somebody that has what you have. Find somebody that has gotten results, because you're going to relate to that instead of just some person that maybe watches a lot of stuff, does a lot of reading, does some research, and is telling you from a secondhand perspective. Get that information firsthand. Anyhow, just my thoughts today on healing versus prevention. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.